That was a nice shot. Very good. To his middle.
Nice shot. Good spinification.
Oh, that was just terrible. What was that supposed to be? Come on, if you're gonna go for the corner, go to the corner, knucklehead.
On us? This is a special edition of BP Reloaded. I'm here with my main man, Frank Caliendo, comedian, impressionist, sports
Guru.
That's the word. That's the
Dancer.
Dancer. Late
Hakuna
night.
Matata.
Thanks for coming, man.
Good to be here.
This
is just like the Tonight Show.
Is it?
Hey, what's going on? What's going on?
And the impressions don't stop. They'll just keep going on forever.
I wish I could do an impression of Ma Long.
That'd be nice. Yeah, you have a real table tennis fanatic here. He's a real fanatic, and
sorry.
I guess one of the luxuries of your job is if you're going into a town, you can just call up somebody, because you told Sean.
Yeah. Well, that one of the luxuries of my job was meeting Sean O'Neill and people like you.
Right.
Then now I just call you or Sean and say, hey, is there something going on in this city? And Sean will be immediately on his iPad. He actually has that sound effect on him. I don't know if you know this about Sean O'Neill, but he has technology from 1985. So he's got a pet computer. So I get to play with lots of people, Loopy, and it's just fantastic. You, Sean, and Chet Babor, to hit some with. So I get a lot of great opportunities, and I abuse them thoroughly. Yeah. That's how much of a ping pong whore I am. Yeah.
So he goes from city to city making people laugh at night, and then during the day he's actually working on footwork and looping, and you'll see some of that today.
And unfortunately, I am making people laugh with my footwork.
No, he's actually really talented. I'm impressed, because I've met a lot of celebrities. I think you're at the top.
Well, I'm trying to get to be. My goal was always to be about a 2,000 level player, because I figured I could get to that level eventually if I worked pretty hard. I haven't worked hard enough yet, I don't think, because I take breaks. What happens is I'll play for a while, and then I'll start to drive myself nuts playing. And
that's kind of how it happens.
Right.
You just kind of have this obsession.
Right.
You know?
Because this and this will be a huge difference, and I will just be, I don't understand anymore. But so that's my goal, because I figured if you're about 2,000 level player, even probably in that 1,900, 2,000 range, people in table tennis will respect you.
You will.
They'll look and they'll go, oh yeah, you can play.
That's kind of level to where you've kind of maximized your skill set, but you have some obvious natural ability. Right. In between those two, the 600 player probably hadn't maxed out on both, but once you get to 2,000, they know you've spent a certain amount of time on the table, and you're playing inside that skill set. How did you get involved in table tennis?
Well, my dad used to play at a club in Waukesha, Wisconsin. So my dad would play. My brother actually played at Junior Olympics one year, just showed up. Right. He had a rating at like when he was 1,300 or something like that, which isn't bad for just playing a little bit of club stuff. But Sean Lonergan was at our club in Waukesha coming up.
Good friend of mine.
Yeah. He started out playing like this, and nobody knows. Then he had to fix it. So that I never played a lot within there. My dad, we played a lot of baseball and stuff like that. Eye-hand coordination was a big thing. My dad was a minor league baseball player. Skip to 30 years later, I'm working in Vegas, and I got nothing to do during the days.
Right.
I look up, there's a Las Vegas Table Tennis Club, and the Nationals are being held there. So first thing I do is I go to the Nationals, and Sean's there, and I know who Sean O'Neill is.
Right.
And he knows who I am from watching me on TV and stuff like that. So I said, hey, do you ever work with people? And Sean just, yeah.
Right.
So we played an exhibition with Samson Dabina, a little thing, and Sean was like, you actually know a little bit about what you're doing. And I was just countering at the time. We didn't really have much of, I had no loop, and I was lucky to get, his serves back. But, and Samson was just messing with me. He'd still just mess with me. But, so I did that, and Sean said, hey, if you want to learn, I'll teach you some stuff. So I called Sean, he came out, we did a lesson together a couple days. And then he hooked me up with Matt Winkler in Phoenix, who's now a 2,300 player.
Yeah, he's good.
And understands the game. He's a guy who used to play a little more without moving his feet and stuff like that. I think he spun a lot, but he started moving his feet and stuff with Stellan. He started going with the Stellan Bankston method and stuff like that. Went to San Diego and really got better. And that's why Sean brought me toward him, because he knew that Matt knew where to go.
Right.
So I started doing that, and people were kind of mad at me because I probably went from, I probably started at like a 1,100 level player, just not quite basement ponging, but right around there. And then I was like 1,600-ish.
Right.
I could play up to that level. I mean, I wasn't that, but it's probably like a 1,100 level player. But I was playing people that were 1,800, and I would have some games.
Right.
I mean, I don't think I'd win them.
I mean, who was mad?
People like, I worked for 20 years to get to that.
And listen, that's when I say your mom and dad had sex and they passed on some genes. If you have an issue because you haven't been good in 20 years, you may want to talk to them at Thanksgiving dinner. That's typically what I would say.
But for me too, what I do for a living is I watch people and emulate. So if I watch movements that you do, I start to do that. I'm not even trying to. I just see it, and if you can see, my legs just got large. Then I went to the Vegas Table Tennis Club, and there's some big time vets around there, guys who were top in the country at the time, Errol Ressick,
old school guys.
Ray Gillen.
I know him.
Ray Gillen! Guess who has entered the building?
Anybody
That's
knows?
perfect. That is perfect.
Mr. Caliendo, I understand what you're going to do, and it's not going to be good enough. I'm Robert De Niro, aren't I?
No, a great guy. I mean, but helpful and working on drills and stuff. And I take the time. Usually when you see people, they want to play ping pong or table tennis or whatever you want to call it, but they don't really want to take the time to work.
They've actually put in the work.
Right. Because once you realize how much you have to move your feet and how much you have to do, you start to go, oh man, this is really a workout. Like I was on the Dan Le Batard show here locally yesterday. He's just making fun of me for having ping pong shoes.
Right.
And
I know those guys. A local sports show, and they go hard. So
and Dan's on ESPN
surprised.
and stuff like that. But they were messing with me, and I'm like, well, come out and try. And then Stu Gotts, the partner on the show, is like, I'll beat you. I'm like, have you ever played in a club? Have you ever played? That's what everybody always thinks. Oh, I can play with sandpaper. I'm like, no, that's not the real game. The game is played with. Don't even try to talk.
Right.
No, the game is played. You don't go golfing and use wooden clubs that you fashioned yourself from some sticks. The game's advanced.
I can't say how much I've got that. I played on a cruise. Maybe we should play sometime. And then I say, do you think you or your relative would ever just go, oh, hey, Mike Tyson, let's just kind of get in the ring and hit around a little bit? No, it's just
I think it'd be fun to spar.
Right.
I think that'd be awesome.
Which can be something.
Where you're at, you're going to see less and less of that. Because the moment that you make a play, they want to write down that play, get it